We are live, and I can confirm we're live because I forgot to turn off the YouTube feed. So I had it playing twice in my headphones. And tonight, so far on the panel, we have Mr. Gizzard Gary. How do you night? There, Gary?
Yo. Sorry about that. I thought I was unmuting myself. I ended up muting myself. I'm a rookie. But yeah, I'm fine. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. And just jumping on the panel is the show's co-host, Mr. Jason Stewart. How are you tonight?
Doing good, man. Good to see you guys. Hi, Gary.
Hey, Jason. OH.
IO. Best damn band in the land.
Right there in the chat so far on the YouTube side, we had Kingpin in there first, and Bernie Sanchez, Bearded Lunchbox, and Michael Dunn. So evening. And Daniel, guys, my judge just jumped in. So evening, Daniel. For those of you who didn't catch the wrestling show last night, which is probably everybody except Gary, we now are officially on the affiliation list for Blackout Coffee. As you can see in the little scroller there, you got the link there. You go over there and use code RichW20 and get 20% off your first order. So get yourself some nice, tasty Blackout coffee and get 20% off at the same time. It's a win-win, folks. And I have Mr. Gizzard Gary to thank for inviting me to that affiliate program that they have over there. So thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Vanessa Kitty's out there in the YouTube chats.
And it's good coffee, too. I can attest to that.
There's Buck. So the Chris must be done. They're all rolling in.
Michael Dunn.
So what do we got to talk about this week?
Bernie Sanchez is out there.
So I think everybody in the chat and everybody's out there heard the little story happened to me yesterday morning.
The dog chase?
Or this morning, yeah. Boy, that was crazy, I'm telling you.
I don't know if you saw my comment over on Chris's. I said, well, now you know how it feels like when for those TV sitcom actors when they have to go chasing the dog in the middle of the night.
Oh, man, from like your doorknob sitting there getting twisted, you know what I mean? I was like, I was angry. I was ready to, start blasting lead right through the door, man, and it turned out to be the neighbor's dog. Actually, during Chris's chat, I was able to go out back here and talk to him. I heard him out here watering their garden and stuff, and told him what happened, and they were just wanting to make sure everything was okay, and they offered, like, do we need to buy you a new doorknob? I'm like, no, you don't have to buy me a new doorknob. It's okay.
Real quick before I forget, you can also find the link to Blackout Coffee in the description box if you don't want to have to type. The link is down there. And we've been joined by Kingpin. How are you tonight?
I'll be doing much better in just a few minutes because I'm currently brewing a warm, tasty, comfortable cup of Blackout coffee.
Mmm.
Vanessa's asking if anybody has built a router sled before. For a wood router or a computer router?
Either way, I
Need
feel
a
much more comfortable after a cup of blackout coffee.
mean a fence for a router?
Got to be specific on that one because there's two different things called a router, and they both can have a sled of sorts. So, especially if you're like doing a server room and you got to have a bunch of routers.
I remember one year my sister bought my dad a wood router, and is for Christmas. It's wrapped up and everything, fancy paper and box, and all that cool stuff. And he was unwrapping it, and my other sister said, "Well, what is it?" And my sister said, "It's a router." And I said, "It's what?" She said, "A router." I said, "Do you mean a router?" She said, "Well, the same thing." It's like, no, it's not called a router. It's called a router. It's kind of like the lever, carbine.
Mm-hmm. Well, last I checked, a router had to do with plumbing.
That's what I was
Yeah.
gonna say. I poured some router root or whatever the chemical is on my computer and it didn't fix it.
It
I
won't
bet not.
fix it.
Vanessa says she's all good on the router front for networks. Nerd before that term was used in a good way.
A router sled?
I may have configured a few network routers in my time. Gary may have too, since he worked in IT.
I never worked in the networking part of things. It always floored me when I'd walk in our server rooms and you'd have these big server racks up there with about 200 cables coming off of them. And really neat ones now. They had them all organized, and going up the wall really neat. And those were kind of cool. But sometimes it looked like a rat's nest when you'd go in those places. It's like the poor network guys having to go in there and trace down, somebody's having problems at their port. It's like, how in the hell do they figure out where all these wires are going?
Keller coordinate them. Usually that's how you do it. You put a Keller tag on them, which tells you which switch and which.
They had number tags, and
to.
they actually had papers on the wall. These big routing charts.
Yeah, that's another way you can do it. It's numbers.
And then each of the ports out underneath the desk, they'd have like E13 or something like on there.
Mm-hmm.
And if somebody had problems, we'd always have them read that number to us when we called in the ticket. So,
yeah, we've been joined by Screaming Skull Saloon and M. Gabriel out there. So, evening, gentlemen. And Vanessa's asking, what was the first computer you ever programmed on? Hers was back in 1976, but she doesn't say what model. First computer I ever programmed something on was a Tandy TRS-80 Killer Computer 2.
Just for fun? It was
that was just for fun.
Commodore PET, if anybody remembers what a Commodore PET was.
Yeah, I was the TRS-80 for me too.
I think I was like 5 or 6 when we got the TRS-80.
I didn't have a TRS-80, but one of my friends in high school had one. I thought that was the coolest thing.
Then after that, I was the child that was given the Texas Instruments TI-99.
Mm-hmm.
And over the year or so, first year, we upgraded it. I had like the 16K big desktop module that went on top. I had the cassette recorder for memory. Even had the phone modem where you had to take like your phone headset and sit it on top of it. Mm-hmm. Had the computer programmer magazine every month giving you programs for it, for little games and stuff. But everybody I knew had the Apple. I had the Texas Instruments. So I was a neglected child.
We had a Cradle modem for our TRS-80. Took forever to connect to anything.
I remember when the first guy at work, one of the supervisors, bought the original Macintosh and brought it in, set it on his desk, and we all come in and looked at that. It's like, wow, it's got a real WYSIWYG display on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Remember how amazing the world was when they invented the. What size floppy was that? A 5 1/4?
They originally were 8-inch, and then they went down to 5 1/4.
Yeah, the 8 inches, man, those things were huge, and they were floppy.
Yeah.
Those things would flop around. It was like waving a piece of paper when you shook one of those things.
You had the 5 1/4 single density, then they had the double density, and
then you got the 3 1/2, which were plastic and much harder to damage.
But not impossible.
No, not impossible.
Michael Dunn had the Texas Instruments TI 99 4A. So
yeah, I got some floppies around here too. Michael Dunn, he said he got some floppies around here.
Yeah, we had the bright idea in our record system. Some people would submit records, and they would throw in a bunch of paper, and they'd throw in a floppy disk with it as part of their record. And they were doing a records audit a few years ago, and they pulled some of these things out, and they come and ask us, they said, do you have anything that can read this disk? You know, and by that time, none of the computers were coming up. They didn't have the disk readers in them anymore. But we had one that would plug into a USB port. But the thing is, those disks, you know, they say they'd last forever. They don't last forever. A lot of the data was corrupt on those things when we went to read it. So,
my wife, remember the old governmental the machines when you would go into the government offices that were the keyboard was connected to the monitor and it had two 5 1/2 inch floppy drives on it, or 5 1/4 inch floppy drives on it.
Oh yeah,
it was just a word processor essentially. My wife had one of those. Her dad got it from the Pentagon when they were getting rid of all those.
Yeah, usually the OS would boot up off one side, and then the other side was for data storage. Yeah.
Yeah, you would boot DAWs and whatever else off of one side.
Sperry made a lot of those back in the day.
My stepdad was an engineer for his company. He had a compact computer. It's like one of the first portable computers. The thing was the size of a suitcase.
Yeah.
Really big and heavy. And the keyboard, when you weren't using it, like snapped into the front of it and covered the computer. But when you took the keyboard out and set it down, you had like a 4 or 5 inch green and white.
Yeah, it looked like an oscilloscope screen.
And no lie, this like 1980. Man, that computer right there was like $10,000 or $15,000.
Yep, if not more.
Yeah, I mean, you could buy a house for $25,000 back then. You could buy a new car for $5,000, and that computer was like god awful expensive. I used to play this little adventure game on it where you just it's basically like reading a little adventure book and then choosing some options, you know, for the story. Kind of like Kingpin mentioned the other night, those never-ending storybooks. This was a little like pirate adventure game, something like that. I used to play on that company's super expensive computer.
There used to be all kinds of those. Yeah. Used to call into different servers and they'd have all those like text RPG games where you call in through a bunch of text, play like D&D with people halfway across the world. Cost a hell of a lot of money back then to do it too, because they'd hit you with long distance fees and stuff. It wasn't like using the internet today.
Oh, I remember when I was at work and we didn't have web back then, but my boss bought me a modem for my desk and got me a CompuServe account. And I'm like, what do I do with this? He says, well, you can fire up this modem and you can actually talk to other people on this. I'm like, really? This is cool. I didn't know what that was.
Gabriel said he was playing Zork on Pitt's University mainframe via the phone modem. 223DMR's out there in the chat, so good evening to you.
Well, we covered computers. When are you going to give out Korth away?
You got to talk to Kingpin about that. I had nothing to do with that. That was not me saying that. That was Kingpin. So if anybody's giving away a Korth, it's Kingpin.
All right, well, I'm glad you brought it up. Since it's my choice, we're going to go ahead and give it away right now. And how do you enter into this competition? All you have to do is be in the chat currently. So if you hadn't said anything yet, make
Do
sure you
not
type
listen to this
something
man.
in the
He is
chat, and
delusional.
we'll go through. And there's a special twist at the end also. There you go. Gizzard Gary, you got to type in hashtag Corinth. So he gets 2 entries.
Nice.
Sponsored also, not only sponsored by Rich White and the Unloaded Media channel, but sponsored by the smooth, refreshing taste of the finest ground coffee beans on planet Earth from Blackout Coffee Company.
Link down in the description box.
Second Amendment coffee.
Well, all things conservative, really.
Yeah, you could put that link out in the chat and people could click on it.
Yeah, I could do that, but what's the fun in that?
Damn URL is too damn small. They can't see it.
It's a tiny one.
Yeah. The full URL wouldn't work with YouTube for some reason.
It's
It
funny,
wasn't
mine-
much longer than the tiny URL.
Mine works. I don't understand why yours didn't work.
Yeah, it kept whiting it out. It was like half of it would be blue and the other half would be whited out where you couldn't click on it.
Yeah, but it still works. It should.
No, the link wouldn't work.
Really?
The full link would, yeah, it would not. I tested it. It would not work. But there is the link to the Blackout Coffee website. And if you use coupon code RichW20, as you can see in the crawler, you will get 20% off your first order.
That's right. So you can try it and get it cheaper.
Mm-hmm. And that is a better discount than what you get if you go to Guns and Gears channel and get it, because he only gives you a 10% code.
Yeah, it's better than what I get.
Really?
Yeah, I can't buy it for 20% off. Can you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Guns and Gears coupon code is only 10% off.
Yeah, when I first bought mine, I used Travis P11s, and that's what I got was 10% off.
Yeah. When it said that I got a coupon code for 20% off for my viewers, I was like, really? Because I'm like, Guns and Gear affiliated with the company directly, and his is only 10%.
Guns and Gadgets, is that who
Yeah,
you're
Guns
talking?
and Gadget. Yeah, that's
He's
right.
actually a co-owner. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, his code's only 10%, but his might be on every order. I don't know.
Actually, as we discussed last night, I used Rich's code and got 20% off my order. And since then, I've gotten a few emails from them, and they have sent me other coupons. And I just looked at one, and they sent me a coupon for 15% off my next order. So,
Nice.
Hey, it wasn't that dog that got him up. He was worried about this damn coffee. He was up waiting on it
Well,
at
you
3
know,
o'clock in the morning last night.
if he'd have had the Blackout Coffee already in hand when he had to go chasing that dog, it wouldn't have wore him out at all.
That's right. And the people who email you are actually the owners of the company. In fact, their media person is his wife. So I sent her an email asking about my order coming in and stuff like that. And that's when she sent me a link. She said, if you want to become an affiliate, here's where you sign up. And I'm like, sign me up.
Bernie, for some reason, is throwing out there the hashtag Blackout Coffee. Kingpin, are you giving bonus entries to your little giveaway for that too?
Yep, Bernie gets 3 entries. So, Jason, are you ready to pick a winner?
sure, you got to do the little pinwheel screen, or
I've got a way better formula than that. All you have to do is give me a number between 1 and 1 million.
Okay, I got it.
Okay, you got the number in your head?
Yep.
Okay, however many numbers, whatever number that might be, that's how many people on the panel and in the chat that are winning a free Corinth tonight. So, Jason, what's your number?
71.
71. Congratulations to 71. Since there's not 71 people out there, we're going to go ahead and Michael Dunn, you'll probably get 3 or 4 Corinths yourself. Vanessa Kitty's probably going to get about 10 of them. Gary will get like 14.
No.
I'm only going to take one, Rich, since I'm, part of the giveaway.
Well, you're the one paying for all this, so
Oh, Blackout Coffee Company and Unloaded Media are paying for this.
no. I do not have that kind of money, buddy, and you know
Thanks,
this.
Rich.
I don't have enough to buy myself one.
Congratulations, everybody.
Yeah, you rich now, buddy. You're gonna cough up that court money, or it's just gonna cost you more when you get sued for false advertising.
I distinctly stated nobody should be listening to Kingpin on this.
What do they call this, Kingpin? They call it internet fraud. Is that what they call it?
Kingpin's front. Yeah, Kingpin's the guilty one, not me.
Yeah, felony.
I'm gonna be watching my PO boxes next week because that'll be a big package when it comes. Well, hopefully it doesn't come to my PO box. Hopefully it goes to my FFL. Somebody's in trouble.
Well, we already looked into that, and I talked to the people at Corinth, and they said every gun will have to go through an FFL, but Rich White is going to pay your FFL fees.
No, I'm not.
Nice.
Hey, Rich, I'm gonna go ahead and send you an email with all my FFL info.
Yep. Mine's
Don't send
already
it to
on the
me.
way.
Yeah, just send it directly to Corinth. They just send all your info. They got Rich's address.
Do not listen to Kingpin. He has gone off the deep end.
We're gonna get Salty Cracker to make the unloaded giveaway fraud video, man.
I wonder how long it'll take YouTube to take this stream down.
If you do want to win an actual course, go over to Honest Outlaws channel. He's doing a fundraiser for I forget what, where he actually is giving away a course.
Well, when you got 1 million subs, you probably can. Yeah.
Oh, it's a beautiful one he's giving away.
His channel's really taken off in the last year or two.
Oh yeah, I remember subbing to him when he had like maybe 15,000.
Me too.
subs.
Who is it? Honest Outlaw?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just a little guy on a farm up in Iowa. Look what he's doing. With his channel.
Yeah, I've been checking him out for quite a few years. I don't remember how many he had when I started watching, but he was pretty successful.
He's still working a full-time job, as far as I know.
Mm-hmm. Plus doing competitive shooting, plus doing his channel. Yeah, he's doing all right for himself, even with the YouTube. I mean, he's got enough Patreon supporters that he bought the course out of the Patreon money to do the giveaway with. I think he's raising money for that homeless shelter for kids that he has in his videos all the time. I think that's what he's doing the fundraiser for.
Damn. Even Yankee won't buy us a quart.
Mm-hmm.
He gives away Tauruses and stuff like that.
He gave away not that long ago another really nice gun, trying to raise money for that homeless shelter for the kids. I don't remember what it was, but it was another really nice one that he paid out of pocket for the gun.
Who are you talking about? Yankee Marshall?
No, Honest Outlaw.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So I haven't watched Yankee in several years now, but I did come across a short the other day from him. Of course, he had a pretty nice revolver, Smith revolver. He, probably got 2 dozen of them, but that's the first I'd seen him. First I'd seen him in Actually, maybe 2, 3 years probably. Uh, he's looking a little grayer, but it was Yankee. I thought about maybe I should go over there sometime and maybe check out what he's doing lately. I guess. I used to like it when he was just all guns and didn't have no politics or nothing. So,
It's
oh,
practically all politics anymore.
really,
Hmm.
yeah, I really got nothing against him other than I used to really enjoy when it was all about just guns. Like he'd buy a new gun and like put out 3 or 4 videos of stuff he did to it. You know what I mean?
Well, when I was first coming up, first doing, first getting guns and first watching gun videos, I learned an awful lot off Yankee's channel. That's why I
Oh
bought
yeah,
my first revolver, was because of him.
yeah. I don't hate on Yankee too much. I won't get into. I stopped watching him because of comments and things he had done and said and shit. Just because it drifted into drama, and I don't care for that. But for my first YouTube experience for first couple of years, uh, Yankee and Matt was the only shows that I know. I didn't know other people did live streams. I didn't
Yeah,
know any of that, and I would like be hanging around like bored all week waiting for like a Wednesday or a Sunday to watch Yankees chat. I didn't know there was other things going on, man.
and they would occasionally have this guy on by the name of G Web, so I remember that.
Hmm.
And that's how I found out about gun channels.
Yeah, back in the day, it was Yankee, Matt, and G Webs that did Yankee show, live show.
They kept talking about gunchannels.com so much, I finally checked it
Hmm.
out and joined it. And that's how I got in with everybody else.
Basically, the same here. We've been joined out there in the chat by Chris from the 740. So, evening again, Chris.
Yeah.
And Matt, Michael Dunn. I said Matt, I've got Matt on the brain now. Michael Dunn said, "Damn, just looked up Corth. Hell, I need to get a loan. You think they'd give me one at the bank? I don't know, but Nighthawk, who imports them, may have financing available."
Hell, Michael Dunn, you might as well get a loan and take out a second mortgage on your house.
Well, no, he's not buying the Dragon.
My gun shop has layaway, but I don't know. Layaway for a Corth is still going to be quite a bit.
I believe you order your from Nighthawk. You pay a deposit, and then there's a time period, and when your gun's ready, they'll let you know, and then from that particular point on, you have so many days to pay off the balance. So it could take you several months to get it. So that kind of sort of is getting it on payments if you save for it.
Well, there you go. That's kind of finance or
You better
layaway.
start paying now, Rich, so everybody get theirs within 7 years.
No, I
Yep.
told you this was Kingpin's idea. It's all on him. I have
need-
nothing to do with it.
You need to keep hawking that coffee. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Somebody say coffee?
Bernie says, "This is a gun channel? I thought it was a coffee channel." Guns and coffee.
No, that's Travis's channel.
Yeah, think about it. That's coffee, computers, and more. But coffee and firearms are exactly the same. You carry a firearm because they're cool and they're interesting and they're fun to use, just like coffee. You carry a firearm because it will help save your life, just like coffee.
That's right.
And speaking of coffee, I threw out the link for Blackout Coffee once again, since everybody keeps bringing up coffee. So,
And both of those help support the Second Amendment.
Security guards, banks carry guns. So if somebody else comes in with a gun to do bad things, they can defend them. What they could really do is just have a nice warm cup of blackout coffee waiting for them. And when the bad guy comes in, be like, no, just have a sip of this wonderful coffee. And I bet you it changes your entire attitude on life. And then the criminal will take a sip and then be like, oh my gosh, here, take my illegal gun away from me and let me apologize to all these poor people in the bank for being such a bad citizen. I think I'll go get a job.
And if it's a really cold, snowy day, and the criminal's got to plow through like a foot of snow to even get into the bank in the first place, Black Cow Coffee also sells hot chocolate.
Because Michael Dunn says he don't drink coffee. It's like, well, Rich White says they have tea and stuff.
Yeah, they have loose leaf tea and hot chocolate, so we got you covered there too.
Whatever you like.
Coffee, I just proved to you, is an essential part of your day. If I hadn't been up getting my coffee first thing in the morning, I never would have caught the dog trying to break in my back door.
Just make sure you wash your hands before you wash that bacon grease off before you grab your door handle.
Dude, I figured it out. What happened was the dog sensed in its nature that you ordered some delicious Blackout Coffee Company yesterday. So it was just at your door trying to be like, hey, I know you got a package here. Can I get some of that? And he was just early because he knows how fast and efficient Blackout Coffee Company shipping is.
Well, it really happened. See, because Jason stated it, he never gets up that early. And the dog saw the light on. It got suspicious. He was trying to come, or she, because I think you said it was female.
Yeah,
was trying to get into your house to see if you were okay.
We'll see if the coffee was ready.
Well,
That,
well, as it turns out, what I learned a little bit ago when I went and talked to them, they weren't home last night. They went to visit somebody, and they hadn't been home all weekend. And I did see this blonde-haired girl over there I'd never seen before. They had somebody that was supposed to be coming over and taking care of the dog, and they left the dog outside all night when she usually doesn't stay out all night. So she knew nobody was home. She was over there all alone, and she wanted to play. And she come over and decided to try to come in my back door, turning the knob with her teeth, but whatever, she was just wanting to play. She wasn't out to hurt anybody.
she saw you turn the light on. It's like, oh, there's somebody.
Yep, said, hey man, that guy's up. He pets me, he likes me. Let's go see what's up.
Yeah, you guys keep it up, and I'm going to have to mute and go in the kitchen and make myself a cup of Blackout coffee.
It's all Kingpin's fault. I mean, he was doing this all through the show last night.
In my ceramic Blackout coffee mug.
You'd have thought last night's wrestling show was just one long commercial for Blackout Coffee, thanks to Kingpin.
Yeah. Gizzard, you ought to get your own blend like Morning Rooster or something like that.
There you go.
Guns and Gadgets got his own blend.
Well, yeah.
Breakfast Rooster or something.
They are, I think they're still selling shares of the coffee or doing a GoFundMe or something. They're doing a GoFundMe, I know that, but they were selling shares because they're not public yet, I don't think, but they're still selling shares. So you can become a part owner if you want to.
Yeah, I ain't got money for that.
I'm going to invest in Ben and Jerry's. I heard the stock keeps getting cheaper every day.
Yeah, same with Budweiser.
Yeah. I'm not a big Ben and Jerry's fan, sorry.
Yeah, no.
Never was a huge Budweiser fan.
Bernie said, who let the dogs out? Jason just said it was the blonde who was dog sitting.
Michael Dunn doesn't like the taste of coffee.
I don't like the taste, but I love smelling it. It smells delicious.
I love the smell and the taste.
I've never been that big of a coffee drinker either. So.
Man, once you spend half your life drinking coffee and smoking cigarettes, don't nothing taste anyways, man. So it don't matter.
My wife drinks a lot of coffee. I don't.
I can't start my morning with that. I have to have first thing. I have to fire up the coffee pot. Here I am in the kitchen, just barely awake, trying to start the coffee. The cat's waiting for his food and everything else. I don't even have my glasses on. I'm in there fumbling around getting coffee ready. That's
The only
first
time of
thing.
year I really drink coffee is around Christmas because I'll get a cup. I'll pour half coffee and then half eggnog. If you
Well,
haven't tried that, it's good.
And out at work, we had a Keurig, and they had a big thing of K cups next to it because, man, we went through the coffee out there at work.
Yeah, them K cups, man. I had that for a while. It takes too long and it costs too much. And don't really go
Wow.
for the K cup.
Out at work, the boss bought them. It's like, oh, okay, free coffee.
Shit, our Keurig, it brews those K cups fast. It doesn't take long at all for one of them to brew.
Nah, but I use coffee cups that hold 2 of them K cuppers,
Yeah, me too.
and I'll have that half drink before I think of make another one. Usually my coffee pot right now, I turn it on in the mornings. It's all ready to go, and I'm usually pouring a cup before the pot's even done. I usually it goes up about a fourth of the way, and I got my big mug, and I fill her up right in there. Don't even wait.
Ghost Tactical and Defense Dad both joined us out there in the chat. I'm guessing Ghost
Yeah.
and Clover aren't doing their show tonight.
They smelled the coffee.
Or they heard the chat about it anyway.
Or they were in here looking for the Korth, one or the other.
Wrong channel for that.
Not what I heard.
That's because you were listening to Kingpin. Told you to ignore him.
I always listen to Kingpin.
Gary just made it official. Ghost Tactical and Defense Day. Congratulations, you guys get Corinth on Rich White, courtesy.
Yeah, no, that's not happening. Right, Ghost
Just
said
like-
it's every other week.
Just think, more coffee or tea you buy, the quicker we get our pistols.
The views and opinions of Kingpin reflect the views and opinion of Kingpin only. Any giveaway that Kingpin sponsors is being done by Kingpin and Kingpin only. Not put that on me.
See, hey, look, we're already inspiring people. See, look, Chris from the 740 says, I'm back, had to go on a Blackout Coffee Company run.
Yep, that's exactly what he said.
The fine print of the contest says
Yeah.
prizes will be rewarded on a cold day in hell.
Exactly. Ghost says he doesn't drink coffee or tea. Well, you're in luck then, Ghost, because they also have hot chocolate.
And they have crayons too.
Ooh, crayon flavored coffee.
You could, since you don't drink any of that kind of stuff, Ghost, you could just defer your prize and take another Corinth.
Chris has never had coffee.
No, Chris is one of those freaks of nature, man, that doesn't do coffee in the morning.
Oh, man.
It's strange.
I don't either, so.
My mom and dad used to, once I got to be about probably fifth or sixth grade on up, Mom would give me a cup of coffee right along with everybody else at the breakfast table. And from then on, I was hooked. That's probably why I didn't get any bigger than I am, because stunning my growth. At least that's what the old folks used to say.
Well, they said everything's stunning your growth.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Something did. I don't know if it was coffee.
There was all that marijuana you kids back in the 70s were smoking.
Not in grade school.
Hey, when my brother was in grade school, there were kids who were getting caught smoking in it. So, yeah.
I didn't know what it was
What?
at that age.
That's why they call it middle high.
Screaming Skull said his grandmother would give him coffee and then tell him to go outside and play. Get you all hyper and then kick you out of the house.
Good for you. Well, that and the sugar they'd pump in you. Every time you go to grandma's house, she'd have a big cookie jar. So, well, make sure and grab a couple of those cookies.
For the time I turned 13, I go to my grandparents' house, my grandfather. Be like, you want a beer? Yeah, the first time my grandfather gave me a nice Iron City, I had just turned 13.
Yeah, my uncle used to drink at Iron City. Man, that brings back a lot of memories.
I haven't had an Iron City in years. They don't sell it around here.
You old folks remember back before they had pop top cans and you had to have one of those can openers to open your beer
Uh-huh.
cans? You had to pop them on both
Yeah,
sides.
Iron
Oh,
City
yeah.
was still doing those when I was a kid. Yeah,
Yeah, those
Iron,
weren't aluminum. Those,
yeah, Iron City's cans were steel for the longest time.
yeah.
It was like their trademark was still. Everybody else was switching to aluminum. Iron City still in steel cans.
Yeah, Dad made sure and taught me how to open a can of beer for him. So
Yeah, I learned to be a bartender about 6 or 7.
big hole on one side and a little hole on the other.
I don't know if M. Gabriel's still out there. He should remember the Iron City steel cans.
That's what she said on her wedding night.
Mm-hmm.
Iron City, the one beer can that in the 80s would still rust. Then they
Dad
came out
was
with,
a Coors drinker.
and Iron City came out with a hybrid can that was steel sides with aluminum tops so that they could have the pop top style.
I remember that Coors used to be illegal around here.
Yeah, you couldn't get it east of the Mississippi for the longest time.
Nope, that's called bootlegging.
Now, defense, Dad, that's not true. I've never had mead. But now, my dad and his buddy used to make home brew. And yes, that's legal. Don't get excited. But
But
yeah, you'd buy the stuff at the grocery store to make it. You'd buy the cakey yeast, the big 5-pound bag of sugar, and this cereal malt. You'd mix it up and wait a week or so for it to cure.
yeah, the defense that's not historically accurate anyway, because the Egyptians were making beer before the Norse were making mead.
Blackout Coffee Company was making tasty beverages before all.
Back then, they didn't even have electricity, so everybody was pretty much in blackout.
We temporarily had a blackout last night. Poor Kingpin got stuck doing the show for him by himself for a few minutes.
In other words, I had to handle about 20 minutes of the 3-hour-long commercial by myself.
Uh-huh.
So you were making the blackout coffee the traditional way with the campfire percolator.
If I was making any, that's exactly how it would have been done. 'Cause I didn't know power to do it any other way.
And see, I've drank coffee out of those before.
Oh, I have too. We used to go camping the old-fashioned way. You know, no electricity or any of those fancy new doodads that people have. They say they're camping with.
Real camping, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't build a fire. You weren't eating hot food.
In fact, I've been camping in places they didn't even have a campsite. You just took your tent and stuff like that and found a flat place to lay it out.
Yep.
That's the true way to do it.
We used to go camping in the state game lands up in Clearfield County, Pennsylvania.
Tent camped for years, man. Always enjoyed it.
It's fun.
We built a little cabin-like structure, dammed up part of the creek to make it deeper.
I used to have a real nice tent, man. I had a canvas tent that was older than hell. It was like from the 60s, 70s. And in the early 90s, Uh, Geez, man, I think I paid like in the early '90s when money was a lot. I think I paid a couple $100 just to get the zipper replaced on the front door.
Hmm.
That was a good old tent. They don't build them like that anymore. Took excellent care of that. Folded it up as good as the flag every time. Never put it away wet. Uh, Actually had that tent kind of handed down to me from older people.
You ever
It
check
was
to see?
just took care of for years, and I used that tent forever. Finally retired it and bought like this modern day flimsy nylon polyester leaking piece of junk tents.
You
Uh,
ever have you checked like Army Navy surplus store? Because sometimes they'll get those like old surplus Army tents that are made out of the canvas.
no, I haven't looked around there. Last time I was at an Army surplus website, though, I was amazed at uh, how many stuff you could just look around that's just perfect for camping. You know what I mean?
Oh
And
yeah,
you
all
can
that kind
get
of
it
stuff
real
is.
cheap. I mean, all
Oh yeah,
kinds of crap.
that's where we used to go, man, to get camping supplies. Like we would go there to buy the silverware and the mess kits and stuff, old surplus stuff, the old surplus metal canteens before they switched over to those cheap ass plastic things they use now.
Check that gear report. I'm sure he still has some tents that he's looking to sell.
Yeah,
He
but
had
his
a
are
shitload of
huge. Yeah, his are huge though. He's got those ones that are tents that are made to be turned into like a command center.
Yeah, but
Go big or go home.
them surplus places got neat stuff, man. Like even fold up like chest of drawers dressers for your clothes and stuff. Fold up tables and desks and all kinds of little camping and cooking items and stuff. But cots and stuff like that. Yeah, you can pick that military surplus up. Very very affordable prices
Yeah,
last time I looked.
yeah, and those stores are like going into a museum where everything on exhibit is for sale. Like, some of the stuff they got in there is like, holy crap, I ain't seen one of these in years.
I tell you one thing, might not have much to do with camping, but last time I was at one of the major surplus places like that, they must have had dozens and dozens of different types of gloves at great price. I mean, gloves from
Mhm.
hot weather to working to Arctic to subarctic degree temperature gloves. And you know the military paid high dollar for every one of those. They weren't just your gas station gloves or anything. And they were all like really affordable. And I always thought like, man, I could use all kinds of these gloves.
Mhm.
I don't understand that. Why do we have to pay for them? We already paid for the ship once. We should
No,
just go
not
back and
all of
pick out
it's
what we want.
not all of it is U.S. surplus. They get surplus from all different countries and stuff in those stores too.
That is a good point, Buck. They should just give it to us. They should give us all them M1s that they still got over in Korea too.
Well, they got a bunch
Hell
of
yeah.
1911s over there too.
Yeah, that's ours, man. They're supposed to give that back. We the people.
That's right.
Yeah, Bernie says there's no AC, there's no him. Well, he's down there in Texas, so he's one of them Texas people, so you know how that is.
Oh, you gotta have AC in Texas.
Yeah. Chris is even worse. He got it. He's talking about air mattresses. The hell's
I don't know, some good alcohol, you could probably sleep any damn where. You don't need no damn mattress. Air
you know
mattress.
we used hammocks when we went out camping and we built that structure that we had. We had poles set up to string the hammocks across like Gilligan's Island.
There's nothing like waking up in the morning and smelling the smoke from the campfire and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Especially in the fall when it's a little cold in the mornings and you wake up and you go stand next to that fire to warm yourself up a little bit, and you throw a little bit extra wood on there and just warm up your body a little. Ooh.
And while you're warming up your body, that fresh morning aroma of Blackout Coffee Company starts to waft into your nose, and you just know this is going to be a great morning.
It's going to be a great day.
Yes, and for those of you who weren't here, since Kingpin brought it up again, we will paste the link again. There is the link for Blackout Coffee, and the coupon code is RichW20 for 20% off on your first order.
Black coffee batters.
You're going to force me before this night's over. I'm going to have to go make me a cup of Blackout coffee.
It's all Kingpin's fault. He's the one who keeps turning the shows into commercials.
I'm about out. I need to buy some more.
And the good thing about Blackout Coffee Company coffee is if you make a cup of coffee at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, you could still go to sleep and enjoy a nice, relaxing night worth of good bodily rest because Blackout Coffee Company doesn't make you jittery.
Michael Dunn says he remembers being younger and walking into the surplus store and buying a handful of throwing stars. Yep, I do believe I've had a few of those in my time as well. That, either the surplus, Army Navy surplus store, or the flea market were the best place to go for that stuff.
As of July 1st, 2023, throwing stars are now again legal in the state of Indiana.
Huh. I'm not sure if they're legal here or not. I'm
So-
not sure.
Pretty sure they're not here.
They are here.
I just hurt myself with them anyway.
All that stuff was legalized when we got constitutional carry.
I would imagine that Roll Call and Rick from Rick's Life as I See It will have plenty of throwing star reviews coming.
Oh, I could see if we're the roll call for sure. Rick's too busy with his lady now.
They should make a slingshot that shoots throwing stars.
Now,
I may have had something that did an attachment that I made for my slingshot for doing that sort of thing.
Bernie says the best part of waking up is blackout in your cup.
There you go.
Yeah, going back to the surplus store, Vanessa says she gets all their prepper pants, proper pants at the Army Navy store. Yeah, if you want like good BDU pants, that kind of stuff, can't beat the Army Navy store. It's a hell of a lot cheaper than buying them off of like one of those online retailers. I'm trying to think of one in Sportsman's Guide, for example, or Sportsman's Warehouse, Bass Pro. It's a hell of a lot cheaper to go into your local Army Navy surplus store and buy them there, and you're getting the real deal.
The only thing I wish some stores had, I wish they had more tanks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've been to ones that sold military vehicles.
Yeah, I have too.
Yeah, I remember when they had Jeeps and they had mountains of tires and wheels for Jeeps.
Yeah, the one that we went to back in March when we went up to the Lawn and Garden Show up in Harrisburg that completely and totally sucked, so we left, and instead we just went walking around Harrisburg, and we stopped in at the one just at random because my wife had never been in one. They had a British Ferret out back, which was one of the British scout vehicles. It had the gun mount and everything. It just didn't have the gun on it. Wanted like $40,000 for it. If I had the money, I'd have bought it.
Would be kind of cool.
Just used regular gasoline. Was 100% street legal.
You guys ever seen all that stuff Dragon Man's got? Man, he's got the tanks and the
Yeah.
vehicles and stuff, boy.
Michael Dunn can't have OTF knives. Wow. Well, evidently he can.
I don't think they're legal in any state around here.
No, they're
Virginia's the
legal
only states that are
here.
legal.
You guys
They're-
can't have them?
Yeah,
We
they're legal here.
Yeah, we can, but if I go to Virginia, can't have it in Virginia, can't have it in Maryland, can't have it in Pennsylvania.
Oh yeah. Shoot
I
you
think
in the mind
Maryland's
down
law,
in Tulsa.
Maryland's law, if I remember right, Kingpin may know more, is that you can own them, but you can't leave your house with it.
In fact, I bought my good Microtech down there at Wanamaker last year. Might buy another one.
That's one of the reasons why I haven't bothered to get my damn Hogue fixed, is because I can't carry it anywhere except West Virginia. And West Virginia here is really tiny.
Come to Oklahoma, you can carry it here. Or Kansas.
Don't even think about it. There, Defense Day. Go ahead and buy it. Might as well buy two.
One of these days, I'm going to remember to get that Hogue fixed. I just keep forgetting. Every time I think about it, something else comes up, and I completely forget to get in touch with Hogue.
I don't seem to have any problem forgetting your knives.
Huh?
I don't seem to have any problem forgetting your knives.
I wonder why.
I say,
Okay.
wasn't Hogue at Great American Outdoor Show?
No, not the
Oh.
knives anyway. Just the
They were at NRAM last, or not NRAM, but they were at SHOT Show last year.
yeah, they didn't have any of the knives. They just had their firearms stuff, and it wasn't. Then they didn't have much of that either.
Krabby turtles out there.
Okay, according to the all wise and never wrong Google, the question is it legal to carry a OTF knife in Ohio? And the answer is switchblade knives are legal and can be held in an open carry fashioned for utility and outdoor sports. Ohio residents can carry all types of concealed knives except automatic ones. So what does this mean for you as an Ohioan? It means that you can legally have any knife on your person as long as it's concealed. And the dog I just told you about just came in my door. let me take a picture, man. Hold on a minute. Scared. That's why I stumble when I talk. This thing's the size of a dire wolf. Come here, baby. Come here. Let me get a picture.
He's wanting
Hang
some
on.
coffee.
I'll be right back.
Well, while Jason is doing that, Krabby confirmed that yes, you can
Come here,
own
honey.
switchblades in Maryland, but you cannot carry them outside your house.
Come on, baby.
What's up, Krabby? I'm glad that Jason left his mic on so that way we can hear if the dog mauls him to death.
Uh, you can hear the dog panting. She just wants a drink, Jason. Get her some water. Good Lord.
Get her some coffee.
Yeah, get her some blackout coffee.
And this is all alleged. Jason actually had somebody open the door and let the dog in. This is all part of a prank. There's no way that his house is that lacking of any type of security that a dog opened your door.
Michael Dunn's asking, OTF are automatic, aren't they? Yes, they are considered to be switchblades.
Mostly, there are manual OTF knives, believe it or not, that you can buy.
Yeah.
Some companies sell them for states where the automatics are legal, and they just have a slider built into them, kind of like the old X-Acto knives
Yeah.
that you could slide up. They do make those.
Yeah, but if you're talking about the spring-loaded ones, then yes.
Yeah, spring-loaded ones, yes.
Yeah, I forgot about the manual ones.
Yeah, we were kind of like that when we got constitutional carry. They got rid of most of the knife laws around here, but pretty sure the throwing stars are still illegal here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, gravity knives aren't legal in some places.
Mm-hmm.
Jason said that Ohio, you can have a knife, but you cannot get a black powdered pistol sent to your house.
No, you cannot. We
Damn.
found that out on this show.
Yeah.
But evidently, your neighbor's dog can just come right over and visit anytime he wants to.
Yeah, just opens up and comes
Let
walking right.
themselves in. Heck yeah.
Wait a minute. Let's start putting these pieces together. Jason said that some blonde-haired girl is puppy sitting.
Mm-hmm.
So the blonde-haired girl lets the dog come into Jason's yard the other night. So assuming the blonde-haired girl is still puppy sitting, she probably just sent the dog over to Jason because that's her way of getting Jason to like say, "Oh my gosh, hey girl, you want to talk and hang out?"
Yeah,
So-
she's trying to get with Jason using the dog.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, I saw where you were going with that, and yeah, makes sense.
You can't keep this up. Come on. Come on.
I guess he came back.
Jason has been adopted by the dog. Apparently, Nebraska has a 3.5 inch folding blade limit. The defense dad's saying once they get constitutional carry, that goes away. Isn't it California? It's like a 2-inch blade or some shit.
Maryland's got some stupid blade length law too.
I see people carrying all kinds of different knives in this side of Maryland. Apparently, nobody knows.
Nobody cares. I mean, nobody cares. The police are only going to enforce it if the cop wants to be a jerk and he pulls you over for something and sees it. Then yeah, but the majority of the time that you're going to get nabbed for having a quote unquote illegally carried knife is when the cops are catching you doing something else that you ain't supposed to be doing.
Oh yeah, 'cause I've used this knife in Maryland in front of a police officer, and they didn't say a word. And this is spring assisted, and if you got a blade length, that's I would assume that would be over that because it's a fairly decent sized blade on that.
Every take care of Thorax. Every gas station around here has got a stack of knives for sale, all kinds of different
Oh
stuff.
yeah, same here.
It's not like like I said, you got the cops that can just be jerks because it is a
Oh, yeah.
thing, or most of the cops, you just robbed the liquor store and you had the knife,
Mhm.
so they're gonna
Yeah,
add.
it'd be one of those extra charges they throw in.
Wow, 3.5 inch limit.
Yeah, like I said, I think California's got like a 2-inch blade limit or something like that, which is crazy because the reason why, one of the reasons Hogue makes this knife, which is the broke one, is for California because as long as it's that length, even switchblades are legal in California. This is considered a switchblade. It is an automatic because it's only got that length of blade. This is California legal. Something that's actually legal in California, if you can believe it. Yeah, we don't have any limit on size of knives we can carry. You could walk down the street here carrying a sword if you wanted to.
Well, see, that's the weird thing. You can carry a sword. You can carry your AR-15. Carry your shotgun. You can carry any knife that you want, open, and it's 100% legal. If it happens to get covered by your shirt for 2 seconds, then you've just concealed it, and that's where
Mhm.
they get you. And
The crazy,
a friend of mine used to walk around the town that I'm in now with a, I don't know, 2 foot long machete tied
Mhm.
to his waist, and the cops would, just like you see like when the Florida guys that are going fishing that open carry, and every cop was like, "Oh my God, you got a gun?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm going fishing. Leave me alone."
yeah,
That's the kind of stuff he was into. The cops would run up to him, "You got this big knife," and he'd be like, "Yeah, you can't do nothing about it. It's not concealed."
yeah. What's crazy? Gary brought up Great American Outdoor Show earlier. There's all kinds of knife vendors there that are selling switchblades. Switchblades are highly illegal in Pennsylvania, and they have been for quite a long time. And security at the Great American Outdoor Show is supplied by the Harrisburg City Police and the county sheriff's department there. They just walk by, watch people buy these knives left, right, and center, and don't say a word.
What can
One
they
of my
do?
one of my friends, when I was in high school, he went to juvie because he got caught with a switchblade. Not on school property or anything like that. He just had it, and he did like a month in juvenile hall for having the switchblade.
Well, yeah, the way people, at least around here, used to talk about them, it's like something you'd carry if you were wanting to go kill somebody in a street fight or something like that. The attitudes have just completely changed over stuff like that. Now it's just normal. Half the people
Mhm.
out there carry them.
Well, if you think about it, for if you're disabled or something, switchblade's a great thing to have.
Yes, they are. Or spring assist.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. That was fun.
So, did you have fun with your house guest?
Yeah, so much. I took her over there, put her in her yard. By the time I got back here, couldn't even sit down. She was right back over here.
She probably opened the door for you.
She just, man, she came in the door's 10 feet away. And before I seen her come in the door, I already had that giant wolf head right here in my lap that quick. Scared the shit out of me. I mean, this dog is big and black like a wolf. I was like, oh my God. But she's just wanting to play. I just threw the frisbee with her a couple times. And I went over and told them. And we found how she's doing it. She's got a couple pallets over there, and the dog's walking up the pallets and jumping the fence. So they're out there moving those. But I suggest this will probably be a common thing from now on. So I told him, I said, well, we're gonna have to build something on my side so she can get back over home, not get trapped over here. So
Yeah, you're gonna have to get a bag of dog treats and stuff.
Uh-huh.
boy, I tell you what, she got my heart beating this time because just like out of nowhere. I mean, this thing is. There's not much room in here for me and a dog that big. I'll just tell you that. That son of a bitch is huge.
Okay, so get to the details. What's up with the blonde? Like, did she hit on you? Was this just a ruse so she could get you over there and get your number?
No, the blonde's not there anymore. The regular people live there now.
Jason's being humble. You know, she's not a man.
Nah,
You can tell.
no. The guy who's living over there right now. I remember when he was born. Lifelong friends with his mother. His grandmother treated me so well most of my life. I grew up. I know all his aunts, all his uncles. I've been next to that family right there for 40 some years, man, and he's the youngest little baby, one of the only ones that's left alive. So they're great neighbors. I got nothing against them. But the blonde I was talking about, that must be who they was saying they had dog sitting for him or whatever. I have no idea who that is. But the blonde was a pretty cute little thing.
You may have
All
to
right,
lock
guys,
your door.
I'm gonna have to say goodnight to y'all.
Oh,
All right,
you
Buck.
got to get some blackout coffee, Buck.
Yeah, and then he
You're
can
gonna
stay.
night.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I need to go to sleep. All the shit I got to do tomorrow.
That's why you need the blackout coffee. Come on, man.
Yeah,
I'll
but
probably
waiting
have to
for
get
you
the
in the
tea.
morning.
Take care, Buck.
Yeah, have a good
All
night,
right,
Buck.
All right, I'll see y'all tomorrow somewhere, I guess.
Yep. Good night, man.
All right.
See that.
Let's say it's not that late.
He
Yeah,
probably just wanted to get to bed early so he could wake up earlier and have some black coffee. He was like, I want to have my morning cup of coffee so soon. I think I'm going to go to bed early tonight.
Yeah, it's only been a little over an hour. Seems like it's been longer than that.
Hey, time flies when you and good friends are sitting around talking about your favorite beverage.
I don't think I'm gonna sleep well tonight. I'm gonna be up every half hour checking to make sure the dog's not in my ear.
Jason's gonna wake up. Is that dog in here? What was that noise?
Can you not lock the door?
Apparently, they don't have locks in Ohio.
And say dog don't got a key, does he?
Instead of sleeping with your finger on a trigger, sleep with your finger on a milk bone.
The Fed's dad doesn't know what the blackout coffee theme is. It's that. Go there, get yourself some good blackout coffee, help the channel at the same time, and if you use code RichW20, you get 20% off your first order.
Theme? I don't know what you mean by theme. He must not have been listening to the wrestling chat. This is 100% spontaneous.
Spontaneous
scripts.
conversation.
Just sharing the truth and the honesty.
And you not only can support the Second Amendment when you buy the coffee, you're also supporting a Second Amendment YouTube content creator. So,
Not just one.
yeah, that's right.
Two.
So win.
Yeah.
Plus, you get good coffee.
Now
he's had the blackout coffee before.
Or tea or hot chocolate, depending on your tastes, whichever one you prefer. They sell all three.
I know Defense Dad has enjoyed. He says, I have 3 pounds in the cupboard already. What?
How long is that going to last for you?
Yeah, how long is that going to last? Come on, man.
Well, technically, the freshness of the pure, unadulterated coffee bean from Blackout Coffee can last quite a long time without any extra added preservatives, mind you. But it probably won't last that long because it's such a delicious beverage and it goes well with every meal that you may have. So you could drink 3 pounds of coffee in no time.
He can buy it local.
Excuses. Michael Dunn wants to know, do you black out when you drink the coffee?
Just
like
the opposite.
Unless you have like a heart issue and it revs your heart up too much. But then you got other problems.
Yeah, I don't know if they make a decaf. They probably do. I didn't look.
No, I haven't looked. Honestly, I haven't looked.
Let's go look and see. I know they make a double caffeine coffee.
So the jolt of coffee is what you're saying.
Yeah,
Remember
I think
Jolt
it's
Soda?
the Brutal Awakening. Isn't that it? Yeah.
There you go, Jason, your brutal awakening.
Oh, he got the Reaper.
Yeah, it's got a Reaper on it. It's called, I think it was Brutal Awakening or something. Let me look.
No, you got the Morning Reaper.
Pitch Black Espresso. They have a cold brew.
Yeah, they do have right next to the cold brew, the low voltage decaf.
There you go.
It's a medium dark roast.
So if you can't have the caffeine, you can still enjoy the wonderful taste of Blackout coffee.
And apparently there is a chocolate day sale going on right now.
And you can get it by subscription too. If you don't want to have to order it, you can actually have them automatically ship it to your door every so often and never run out of Blackout coffee.
Look at the eyes on this man. Tell me that ain't a hound from hell right there.
Looks like the night sights on my sig.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Those look like excess sights.
It looks like, I was going to say it looks, I agree with Kingpin, it looks like the rear X-ray sights on my P365.
Fastest sights in any light.
Oh, it's a cute puppy.
I always say if you're going to shield big.
Oh boy, I tell you what, boy, I was just sitting here and all of a sudden that head was like right here on my lap. I was talking to you guys, got one hand on my mouse. Come in so fast. I would have been a goner, boy. Would have been a goner.
And yes, they are still taking investors, by the way. They have a thing on their website where it has the investment news and whatnot. You find out how you can invest in the company right there.
What are they talking? I'm not yucking it up. I'm actually asked a serious question. Like, are they looking for rich people, or are they looking for somebody to buy a stock?
You have to click on to visit the investment campaign page. I don't know.
I mean, it'd be pretty cool if they like you could buy. I'm just making up numbers. A $3 stock, and be a part of the company that way. But
Well, I'm guessing if they're not asking for a whole lot, because they say they got 1,900 investors, and from investors they've raised 1.75 million. So they're not. I guess you're not having to invest a whole lot if you want to join to be an investor in the company.
sounds like it. I mean, I hate to use the term, but it sounds a little bit more grassroots than corporate.
Uh-huh.
Wait a minute, how many investors did you say?
Okay, I'm looking at the investment page now. It's $1.25 per share, with a minimum investment of less than $200 required. So yeah, it's not a bad deal. They have 2,296 so far and raised over $2 million.
Wait a second. Hold up. Time out. The stock is $1.25 a share,
Yep.
and you have to buy $200 worth of stock to buy any of it.
198 million. Wait, let me start over. 1,900,000. I can't.
Joe Biden. Joe.
$198.75 minimum investment.
Good night, Michael Dunn. That's dumb. Minimum investment. So is investment different than buying a stock? Like, can I just buy $1 stock?
No, you can't just buy one stock. You have to buy however many
$200
shares.
worth of stock.
The $200 gets you, yeah.
Okay, all right.
But then you have a piece of the company.
That's not a bad investment.
No, it's probably not, because it's growing really quickly.
Yeah. And there are other companies that have minimum investment where you got to invest like $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. So for the minimum investment to be less than $200, that's not bad.
See, that's another fantastic thing about this company. See, I had no real idea. I had a basic idea of how stocks and stuff work, but now I'm getting economic education thanks to Blackout Coffee Company.
Their projections say that they should be worth $1 billion by 2030.
I'm very interested in that. I've never bought stock before, but I wouldn't mind investing in that a couple times.
Oh, excuse me. They should be valued at $152 billion by 2030, according to the expectations and stuff that they've been given by the people that evaluate the company. They're valued right now. Valuation is at 17 million, well, just about almost $18 million. They had a revenue in 2022 of 2.4 million from 130,000. So yeah, they are growing. They have a 40% returning customer rate, which is 10 times higher than the industry average, and 4,000 active subscriptions, which is the one that Gary was talking about, where you can subscribe and automatically have it shipped to your house every month. They actively support the military, veterans, police, firefighters, first responders, and all Americans who see their work as their duty, not just a job.
So, if you bought that stock at $1 something a stock, and you had 100 of them, and someday that stock was selling for $1,000 a share, you'd have like $100,000, right?
Yeah, something along those lines. Like, if they hit the projection of the 152.69 billion by 2030, that stock price is going to rocket from that $1.25.
I threw some legal mumbo jumbo out there in the chat for you so you won't get sued later.
Well, I'm just reading right from their website. So anyway. I'm just reading right from their investment page.
Well, if all goes well by 2030, everybody get entered will be given a course away sometime by about 2030.
Yeah, especially if Blackout Coffee is going to be paying for it. They hit that 152 billion. They need to start kicking some of that money back into us little guys that are sponsoring them so we can give our viewers courts.
So what you're saying is bring forth the court?
You could say that.
Well, I'm sorry, but I'm going to put an end to Patreon, and I'm going to invest in Blackout Coffee every month.
Like the Fence Dad said, stocks also have a tendency to split every so often. What that means is for every share of stock you have, when they split, you now have 2 shares of stock. So say you buy 100, 3 years down the road, that stock splits, you now have 200. Another 3 years down the road, that stock splits, you now have 400.
What happens when Folgers buys them for like $4.5 billion?
It depends on what the details of the sale are.
They'll probably buy out the shares for such and such a price, and you just go relax in the Bahamas with your whole trailer full of Blackout Coffee
and course.
And you could get T-shirts printed. May the course be with you.
I like it.
But if I made $100,000 off a coffee stock, I'd have me a swimming pool full of fucking coffee, man.
I don't know if you could afford that much. I mean, that's a lot of coffee. Unless you're talking about like a little kiddie pool.
Well, technically, if you dump a spoonful of coffee into your pool, you've got a giant pool full of coffee.
That's going to be awful weak coffee. That's going to be so weak as to not even be noticeable. Really, Gary?
Much more effective than that dumb saber.
Yeah.
Hey, that's an elegant weapon, I have you know.
For a more civilized age.
Mm-hmm.
So soon they'll be calling it the 4th of July.
Ooh, good one.
but at this point, for $200, you're not being snob and going out and investing in all kinds of cryptocurrency.
Snobs investing in this stuff now.
I don't know, is he? He invested in crypto. I wouldn't be surprised if he did.
That's true.
Hey, I saw a thing on crypto the other day. Some guy 3 or 4 years ago or whatever junked his computer, threw it in the trash, right? It had so many bitcoins on that hard drive, and he threw it away in the trash anyways, didn't think nothing of it. Now those same bitcoins on that hard drive is worth like $300,000. So he's got permission.
So he's got what, 10?
They got backhoes, and they're digging up the local landfill trying to find this dude's computer from 4 or 5 years ago.
That's not a whole lot of Bitcoin.
Yeah, it wasn't very many Bitcoin at all. Like, I don't know. Maybe I thought they said maybe 30 or something. I don't know. 16 of them.
At one time, each Bitcoin was valued at what, like $30,000?
When he threw it away, they were only worth like 30 cents or something.
Yeah, at the height of it, it was like 36,000, I think, somewhere around that range. I'm not sure what they're worth now. So I said, what, he had 10 of them?
Yeah, it was enough that he just felt like throwing it away back then. Now it's worth like 330,000. But good luck. Who knows if that computer actually? Like, what if you did find the computer? How do you know you can still get it off the hard drive? And like, who knows? Like, if you set a computer out on the trash, somebody might have, come along and just took your computer, took it for parts, or
why was he just storing them local?
I don't know the dude's life story. I just know they're digging up the landfill with bulldozers.
A lot of these cryptocurrencies, they're stored online.
They said this one's on a hard drive, and they're specifically looking for it.
Easy. And why the hell is he throwing away a computer with that scrubbing the thing anyway? Moose said that he had 8,000 Bitcoin worth 150 million happened in 2013. So you might be off on your numbers a little bit, Jason, according to what Moose said.
What I just saw was only 300 grand, so it might be different people.
Yeah, that's possible.
Shit, if it was worth 150 million, I'd be there digging right now. I'd have like 24-hour power generator lights. We'd be conveyor belts sifting this stuff out. We'd be looking hard for 150 million.
If I throw away a computer or if I throw away a hard drive, that hard drive ain't going to be in one piece.
Well, the problem is...
Easy, Hillary.
The problem, if you got $150 million on a hard drive that's in the local landfill, you think, how much I can only pay my guys to dig up this landfill for so long. On your word that there's $150 million in here you're going to pay your bill with. Because as of right now, we've been digging for a week, and you owe the county of Jasper, Ohio, $30,000 for us digging up this landfill.
It's the new Oak Island.
Yeah, the new Oak Island.
Well, you know what I'm saying? Because sooner or later, the mayor of the town or whatever is going to be like, look, we're not dumping any more resources into this. You owe us $100,000. And we're just assuming that you've got $150 million in this hole over here.
Well, at least Jason got the Oak Island reference.
And around here, too, you send certain stuff to one county's landfill, and it goes into the landfill. you send it to a different county's landfill, and it goes to a transfer station, which ends up in the incinerator in Baltimore City.
Moose says, look up Stephen Thomas. He forgot his Bitcoin password and has $321 million that he can't access.
Wow. I tell you what, I'd find a way to access it.
Uh-huh.
You'll access it for me, or I'll put a hole in your head.
Right?
I was just thinking that. Imagine in the landfill, and you find it. You find a computer that's basically worth $150 million. You'd be lucky to get out of there alive.
Gary
There
went
you
and got
go.
himself his coffee.
There you go. Blackout
yeah.
coffee.
Gary's got a priceless cup of blackout coffee.
Jason's going to have one of them nice mugs too when he gets his on. His is going to be red with the Grim Reaper on it. But Jason said they don't do yellow where he's at, so he didn't get
Yeah, we didn't do yellow.
To life move.
When the hell did Moose sneak in here? I don't know.
In the back door.
Utter madness.
Mm-hmm. He must have just snuck in because I haven't seen him say anything before.
You'd be surprised what sneak in your back door.
Or front door.
But yeah, in Jason's case.
No, it's my back door.
I'm not touching that one.
Backdoor neighbors are the best kind. That's right. Even if they are dogs.
I'm going to have to buy an 8-foot fence just to keep the neighbor's dog out.
Privacy fence.
I got a dog that's 6 inches off the ground. Like, I have to get me a 6-foot fence.
Well, if the dog's using pallets to climb over, then a 6-foot fence may not be high enough.
Yeah, I think that might be my easy solution. Just build a ramp so she can get back home. Let's let her come and go as she pleases.
You may want to see a doctor about that defense, Dad.
You might.
Just don't drink your pee.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do it. No matter how enticing it might be. It's
Unless you're
always bad.
lost at sea and you got no choice.
That's
What
true.
What baseball player was it that said he washed his hands in it for the calluses or some shit?
Oh, they used to use pee for all kinds of things. They used to brush your teeth with pee, buddy.
Oh yeah, on the ships they used to use they would process it down to get the ammonia and make soap and stuff out of it. Use it for tanning leather.
According to the television during World War One, some of the original gas masks were basically just cotton up your nose and then a rag with urine on it around your face.
Ew.
Damn. That was pissy, wasn't it?
Well, did you ever see any of the ones from World War II that they had for little kids and stuff? They were creepy as hell. They try and make them like have fancy like clown characters and stuff on it. And they were just creepy as hell.
Oh, yeah, them gas masks for kids, that is some creepy shit, yeah. For infants and stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And for like kindergarten age kids and stuff, those gas masks are creepy looking. The characters and stuff they would put on them, like trying to scare the kid or save their life.
Well, this mask didn't actually really work, right?
The ones that they had in World War II, yeah, they did.
Mustard gas still kill you, shit, right?
According to the TV show that I was watching, the Allied soldiers found a dead German, and he had on a rubber mask that you would think of now when you think of gas mask, with the canister on the front and the rubber straps that go around your head. And they were like, "What the heck is this?" So they took it and started building. Basically, every gas mask since history was based off of that one. And the French guys had the urine bag over their face, and they found this dead German guy with this really technologically advanced gas mask on. So that's where they all basically came from.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Tell you what, they work. That's why they have you do the gas chamber when you go into basic training. You go in wearing your gas mask. They start filling the trailer or whatever they have at that particular facility with the CS gas, and then they make you take your mask off after the room is already filled, so that you know that the masks work. That's the whole point of it. That's how you know that the mask works, because you go in, you're fine, you take the mask off, and you realize, oh shit, this room is full of gas.
You couldn't just take their word for it.
Oh, that would be too easy. They have to demonstrate that it works. And I didn't just do that in basic training. I did that in junior RTC too. It's fun. Fun time. And if you didn't catch the tone of voice, I did not mean a word of that. CS gas sucks. You think pepper spray's bad?
Well, that dude on the Steven Seagal movie said once you get used to it, it just clears the sinuses.
It's full of shit.
You get soaked in that pepper spray too much, and your skin's burning for days. Like taking a shower for the next couple of days is a rough deal.
They should outlaw that shit. Geneva Convention. How are they doing over in France? They still burning stuff to the ground over there?
I don't know. I don't pay attention to France that often.
Last I heard about the France thing is, I think they had temporarily stopped burning stuff, and the government was going to just go full spy and spy on everybody's cell phone.
Well,
Oh
it
yeah, I
is.
heard that about the phones. Yeah.
It is Muslims. Give them a week, they'll be burning something else or blowing something up. It reminds me of something funny. The latest crazy hadith from the world of Islam. Muhammad was explaining apparently why Muslims should get a bath in the morning when they get up. And the reason why is because the eyes are the leather strap of the anus. That is a direct quote from the hadith. The eyes are the leather strap of the anus. Now,
Okay.
apparently Muhammad had this idea that the reason why you don't poop your pants during the day is because your eyes are open. When you go to bed at night and you close your eyes, because you're asleep and your eyes are closed, stuff just starts to seep from your ass. In other words, according to Muhammad, we should all be shitting the bed at night.
Let's see. I've never found that to be the case, but
Yeah, neither have I.
Yeah, usually when the time comes, it wakes me up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I don't remember what hadith it is. I can look it up real quick. just to verify. see if it even brings it up.
Say, thou shalt not shit in the sunlight.
Yeah, right.
You know, whoever wrote that was just some disgusting monster who
Mm.
was too lazy
Well,
to
yeah,
wake up
it
in
was
the morning
Muhammad.
and just like they woke up having to gurgle stomachs, and it was like, oh, I don't feel like going over to the hole in the ground, and just defecated in bed, and then made some type of slave come clean it up or something.
I am getting everything but what I'm looking for. The joys of the internet.
Yeah, I forgot about Olestra. You remember when that was a thing?
That was that artificial sweetener thing or whatever it was.
No, it's a
No?
fat substitute.
Oh, that's what. Okay. It was
Remember?
something on those lines.
They put it on potato chips and stuff like
Yeah.
that. People started having leakage after using it.
Well, I'm not finding anything when I do a Bing search for it, except for our YouTube video.
Go try the Algiers website.
Yeah, right. Let's see.
Moo's got it right.
What?
That's a terrible phrase right there. That sounds like a side effect or something.
I think that was an alternative band back in the 90s, wasn't it? Anal Leakage? Yeah. Or punk rockers, I can't remember.
Is that where they got the term analytics?
Mm-hmm.
Just type in Muhammad said shit the bed.
Something I found interesting. I've been putting out the two ABC videos, and the first one, A, was the AK-47, and that got, I think right now it's got like 219 views or something on it. All the other ones are back to normal, like the 50 to 100 views that I would normally get on a video. Letter F has got almost 1,000 views on it. So you look at my channel, it's like 50, 65, 38, 900, 31, 27.
It's funny how that works sometimes. Especially with shorts, sometimes one of them can just go crazy.
This one guy, Mike, just Mike is his name, I think, and he commented on the what did he say? He said something about World War One wouldn't still be going on, you stupid fool. I was like, yeah, really?
Okay, I typed in Google Muhammad said shit the bed, and one of the things come up that said Muhammad said if you drank his pee, you would be protected from hell. So people used to drink the man's pee.
I'll stick with blackout coffee. The wonderful taste of blackout coffee.
Start your day with a nice warm mug of Muhammad.
Ew.
Brewed overnight.
You can do that if you want, but you won't be able to use Rich 20 to get 20% off.
No, you won't. Now, I'm reasonably sure blackout coffee contains 0% urine.
I'm gonna start my own bag nut coffee. $1.25 a stock.
Yeah, thanks for that rabbit hole, Rich.
How's George doing? We haven't heard about George tonight.
George is sleeping on top of his cat tree right now, right next to his Every Second Matters sign.
Just taking it easy, huh?
Yeah, it's hard life being a cat.
Yeah, blame Jason, by the way, for that rabbit hole. He's the one that brought up the whole thing in France, which reminded me of all that nonsense.
Sure, always blaming others.
John Z in the house.
Hey, John Z.
Yeah, John. So he's having trouble sleeping right now.
I can
Yeah,
understand
time.
that with this week unloaded on. It's hard to sleep when you know.
Yeah, especially when we're bringing up the greatness of blackout coffee the whole show.
That's right. We're here to keep you up.
I recommend blackout coffee for whatever ails you.
I'm having some right now.
I can't wait to have some.
I'm retired, so I can stay up all night if I want to.
Gary's already drinking the blackout coffee.
That's
if
right.
you would like to be like Gary, and that's the wrong thing. But yeah, we'll put that out there too. Woohoo!
Sure, why not?
I won't be like Gary when I grow up.
But yeah, the link is somewhere out there. Yeah, find it. I don't want to take it.
Uh-oh, I triggered Moo.
Why? I miss Lisa. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, don't tell Moo that I took a nap before the show and I woke up right before I got the link.
One thing I don't like about StreamYard, it makes it hard to copy goddamn links if you're looking in the StreamYard chat and not the YouTube chat.
Yeah, it is.
There we go. Yes. Go to that link if you would like to be like Gary and have some nice blackout coffee and use code RICHW20 for 20% off of your first order.
Let's look at what Defense Dad says. Yeah, you almost got it.
Well, you missed the description of why Muhammad said that, John. Should we inform John why Muhammad said the eyes are the leather strap of the anus, or do we not want to go down that rabbit hole again?
What did you just say? The eye of the anus? What did you
The
say?
eyes are the leather strap of the anus. So said the false prophet Muhammad.
Gary, you got that disclaimer you could put out there again?
Yeah, I may have to.
I didn't say it, Muhammad did.
Rich is gonna get his whole city burnt to the ground.
Hey, if these people are dumb enough to follow somebody who came up with those pearls of wisdom,
You guys, my prediction is you're going to see the crack in the whole don't mess with the Muslims. And it's already started because in a lot of these school board meetings, the school boards are comfortable looking at Muslim people and calling them white supremacist adjacent right now. So it's only going to be long before the LGBTQIA plus overpowers the fear of the Muslim blowing up something.
no, Mo, it's 72 virgins with big eyes. How many of you guys are concerned with how big the eyes of your woman are? Show of hands? Anybody?
Well, there is a little bit of internet science behind the size of the eyes. Take AOC for example. She's got huge eyes, and when she's looking at you and talking to you and spitting out the crazy stuff, you can see like all the white around her eyes at one time. And they call it the pyramid or triangle or something. If you can see 3 areas of white around somebody's eyes when they're talking, that generally means that they're insane. So look at all these crazy wild lefties, and when their eyes are bugged out wide open, you'd be like, oh, right there, that's what Kingpin was talking about.
Yes, but why would Muslims want 72 AOCs?
Oh, they're stupid people. Yeah, and I caught that move, but
Yeah, I caught it too. That's why I said it the way I said it.
remember when Fareed Zakaria translated it into 72 raisins?
Well, there's some dispute over whether it says virgins or not as well. So
Moose says it's Virginians, not virgins.
it's, yeah.
Nobody wants 72 Virginians.
And remember, he didn't, nowhere is it stated that it's 72 virgin women, by the way.
Or is it West Virginians? It might be West Virginians.
Bullshit. Where are you gonna find 72 virgin women?
Not in West Virginia.
You do gotta remember we're talking about Muslims, Jason, so they're just like Democrats. They like them young.
Yeah, well, they never said they were of legal age either. So there is that.
Like I said, even with those stats, where the hell are you gonna find 72 virgins?
Simple, you get them 9 or under like Muhammad did.
Preschool.
Remember, Muhammad married Aisha when she was 6, consummated when she was 9.
Drag queen story hour at your local elementary school.
Mm-hmm. The local kindergarten class. And there was another incident where Muhammad was visiting somebody and they had their little baby there, and he said, one day I will marry her. Muhammad was a sick fuck, okay?
Uncle Joe's Swimming Pool Fun Center.
Yeah, Joe Biden and Muhammad would get along very well.
Gary.
Yes.
Don't you mean stay strapped or get crapped?
Yeah.
Hey, that's close.
You gotta remember, we're talking Muhammad. You gotta use his logic.
Not me. I'm not of that faith. Thank you.
None of us are, but you can still make fun of it. You know, like the sun sets in a muddy pool. Yeah, that was another one of Muhammad's great insightful wisdom things there too.
I can still remember back in the 1980s, there was an article that came out from Ayatollah Khomeini about it's called Rules to Live By. And on that list were a list of the animals that it was okay to have sex with.
Oh, sounds like Canada. Remember, not that long ago, Canada's Supreme Court said it's okay to have oral sex with an animal.
You've seen the famous Cenk Uygur clip, right, Rich?
Which one?
Chuck Yogurt.
Yeah, the one where he's talking about, and I don't even want to say it, so I'm going to dance around it as much as possible. So you'll have to use your read between the lines. But he said, and I'm paraphrasing what he said, that if the human is helping the animal, then it's cool. As long as the animal's not, as long as it's good for the animal, then it's cool. But it's not good if it's just good for the human, then it's not good. But if you're doing something good for the animal, then it'll be okay. He said that, and it's still all over the internet. He still stands behind it.
Yeah, he's a Muslim, so not surprising. Oh, speaking of Muslims that say really stupid things, Daniel Hikachu, who is one of their, I guess you call him evangelists or whatever. I can't remember what they call him, but he does dawah, which is Muslim trying to get people to convert. He was doing a debate with somebody. I think it was on Modern Debates channel. I think this channel was on YouTube. And it was about child marriage, if it's legal or not, or should be legal, or all that kind of stuff, because Islam says that it's okay. He literally said that if an 11-month baby has early menstruation, that it's okay to marry and have sex with the 11-month-old baby. These people are sick.
There's a term that some of my friends on other parts of the internet, specifically the Hard Bastard channel, like to use, and it's called YITS, YITS, and that's yeet into the sun. So people like him would get on the YITS bus. Therefore, we would send him directly into the middle of the sun.
I was just thinking, anybody that thinks that or says that, why weren't they like beheaded right then and there on the spot?
Because the sick monsters that he was talking to were thinking that, and they're glad somebody with power said it out loud. Now I can do it without impunity.
He said it in this country.
Yeah, well, I mean,
just,
pedophiles run this country, so what's the big deal?
Yeah, I know. I'm saying he said it in this country. So if anybody's thinking that maybe he said it over in the Middle East or something, no, he said it here.
That's totally disturbing and uncalled for. Like, why weren't we like pounding him down into the fucking pavement? I mean, I don't understand this.
Go watch the movie that Sound of Freedom, and then go read all the mainstream media headlines about it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I heard a little bit about that. Yeah,
that's actually playing around here, which is shocking. It's playing up in Lavelle. at the mall in Lavelle, the AMC theater up there.
I don't know what to believe. You know how things are right now. You don't even know how to trust the people you do think you trust, but wouldn't surprise me. I've heard them say they pulling tricks like shutting off the air conditioning in the theaters that are showing that movie so people won't watch it, and like sabotaging it there at the thing so people won't watch that show.
Defense Dad's heading out. Said it's been a long week, so night, Defense Dad. Well, they've only been trying to get that movie made for over 5 years now. They had a hell of a time getting it released after Disney bought Fox, because Fox was going to release it, and then Disney bought Fox Entertainment, and
I was under the impression that every Hollywood script, every TV show script had to have the approval from the powers that be. You know what I mean?
Only if you're going through the mainstream.
mm-hmm.
You know, like when Marvel wants to put out a new Captain America movie, yeah, they go through all those loops because they're mainstreaming it all the way through. It's kind of like now how you remember back listening to music when we were growing up. A lot of artists were talking like Jay-Z started Rockefeller Records, so he didn't have to go through, but he did. He was just lying. He was actually funded by the corporate people the whole way up. But then now a guy like Ryan Upchurch can just turn on his YouTube channel and have 5 million subscribers and sell millions of dollars worth of records because he doesn't need all those lawyers and labels and all that.
John Z's wanting to know if he should make his name longer. I think it's long enough.
Blackout Coffee Company.
Good coffee.
It's funny, it was when I was in high school. There's a guy named John that lives up the street from me, and he'd drive by my house in the morning on the way to school. When in my 9th and 10th grade year, it was probably like the end of my 10th grade years when he started driving. So if I'd missed the bus, I could always wait for him to drive by, and I'd just hop in with him. And we became friends. In my 11th grade year, I just basically rode to school with him every day, and missed half of my school because we never went to school. But one day he stopped at this place called Little George's. It's like a high store or 7-Eleven type of store. And he got some coffee. And he was a big cornball. And he would sip his coffee like real obnoxious, like, and then go, good coffee, good coffee. And it was real funny for that one morning. About a year ago, my boss is like, "Hey, we got a job right up the street from where you grew up at." And I was like, "Oh, that's cool. I get to go back to the old neighborhood." I was like, "That'd be funny, is if this is somebody's house that I knew." So I'm driving down, passing all the places that I remember, and I pull up into this neighborhood where he lived at, and I was like, "That's so weird. It'd be so funny if I'm going to my buddy John's house." And sure enough, I did all the drywall in my buddy John's house. He opened the door. I knocked on the door, and he opened the door, and I was like, "Good coffee!" And he was like, "Holy shit!"
Now, John's asking if can you black out from too much coffee? We already had that question, and if you have an extreme heart condition, theoretically it would be possible.
Well, if you had to go, that would be the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
Overdose on good coffee like End of Times Brew from Blackout Coffee. If you drank that much coffee, you'd probably die, but you'd still be awake.
It'll take you in 2 hours to realize you were dead.
I'd still be taking a piss every 20 minutes after I was dead.
Moose says, to be fair, the kind of coffee that he drinks, then yes. Man, I don't know what kind of coffee you're drinking then, Moo.
I'm guessing he has a little bit of Irish cream in there. I don't know. A little bit of Bailey's. Kahlua.
Yeah.
Won't say I've never done it.
Abby just popped that out there in the chat.
Hey, Abby.
You know what happens when you drink coffee when you're drunk?
No. What happens?
You get a wide awake drunk.
Moose says Jameson and Bailey's in coffee. So he goes all out. He puts Jameson and the Bailey's.
I just remembered some good times, man. You ever gotten good at drinking yourself sober? You ever drank yourself sober?
Nothing I can recall.
No. Drank myself to sleep a few times.
No,
Yeah, I've done that.
nah, if you drink enough, it takes like say you drank all day and all night, drank all whiskey, and you woke up first thing in the morning and you're hungover and you're drunk and you just start drinking again. By noon, you're like sober, like you never even drank anything.
I know I had this last time I drank is probably a long time ago, and I had a real weird reaction to it. I was never big in drinking anyway. I did, high school parties and all that or whatever. But I drank this 6-pack of Bud Light, and
No, there's your first mistake.
I don't know. I felt like expressing myself and putting on a dress.
A rainbow of fruit flavors.
It's a good thing social media wasn't around at the time.
Abby says she'd probably die if she had caffeine and alcohol together. Yeah, a lot of people that decide to have Red Bull and vodka together have done that. That's one of the worst things you can do.
I know if you mix Red Bull and Jaeger, you can kill your relationship.
You can kill yourself.
You can kill part of your furniture and your TVs and your relationship. And car windshields and other things.
Bank accounts.
Jeez, John found out he has heart issues. And Abby says she has heart issues.
You know what's good for the heart?
Decaf coffee.
A nice cup of blackout coffee.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, get yourself a nice decaf from Blackout Coffee.
Keep that heart a pumping. Just like exercise, man.
Or you could also go with their teas, which are good antioxidants, which are also good for the heart, and still have the caffeine.
Tea.
Yeah.
Just think about like the ancient tribes that still live in the Andes Mountains take the coffee leaves and they chew on them, and it stimulates them really good. So you could probably like chew on some coffee beans and get the same effect that those people in the Andes Mountains do when they chew on the coffee leaves.
Abby says she has a heart arrhythmia. She can't have caffeine. Well, there you go. They got decaf. You can get the decaf.
I might be mistaking those with coca leaves, but coffee beans, same thing.
The coffee bean actually isn't a bean. It's actually the seed of a variety of cherry. There's your useless information for the day.
I can't help it. I just been sitting here thinking, do your duty and teabag for the 2A.
Well, they don't have it in tea bags, Jason. It's loose leaf.
I don't know. Wouldn't the most useless information of the day be Glock sells handguns?
I thought you were going to say the Muhammad quote again, but okay.
No, that's useful because then that way you can be like, oh, I better stay away from those Muslims.
Stay away from Islam.
Just
And
say
I'll
no.
get sued by apostate prophet 'cause that's his catchphrase.
Stay away from those Glocks, man. Just like I always said, don't buy your wife black plastic. She won't love you no more.
For Blackout Coffee's tea, it would be T-ball for 2A. Which sounds even worse. If she likes tea, I guess so. Abby.
Take that for the 2A.
You notice nobody ever put two and two together, and the stupid submersible that imploded going to see the Titanic was clearly crushed to death by the Loch Ness Monster.
That's a possibility.
In the North Atlantic?
Yeah, it drains right into Loch Ness.
Are you trying to tell me that you know for a fact that the Loch Ness Monster's never been in the Atlantic Ocean?
I don't know if it'll be in that part of the Atlantic Ocean.
Do you have proof of this?
Well, if it's a plesiosaur like they speculate, it would be too cold.
Well, I don't know. I mean, well, we speculate that we know a lot about plesiosaurs. Maybe,
Well, they're reptilian. They're reptilian, Kingpin, cold-blooded. They would have to. That would be way too cold for them.
Well, I mean, adaptation.
You know what I heard about the Titanic the other day?
It sank.
It could be the truth, could be misinformation, but I saw it on YouTube. One of these ex-government official guys or whatever, he was saying the truth on how that Bob Ballard found the Titanic, right? Remember we were having talks about, the subs that go down there, and like there's not that many in the world. You got to like lease them and rent them, and
about the real subs and not the
the real stuff, and the research vessel boats. You know what I mean? Those are like even if you got the money, you just can't go like tomorrow and get one. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There's not many to go around. They were kind of hinting at. They kind of knew where the Titanic was. It wasn't this great, huge discovery that Bob Ballard and that boat and them guys went on and to find the Titanic. He's saying it's all kind of like a scam. He said the truth of the matter is, not that far away from the Titanic is two different downed U.S. submarines. And that boat and that Bob Ballard and that underwater, submarine video camera, deep submersible, whatever you want to call it, the whole time period that they had with that boat that they said they were looking for the Titanic, they spent the whole time on that boat. The first foremost mission was to find those two U.S. subs and document them and get it back. Our government wanted to know about those subs, and they didn't want Russia knowing we were looking for them. So they disguised it under the search for the Titanic, and the media and everybody just pumped it all out to search for the Titanic. And he's saying that's not true. They spent 99% of the time to locate those two Navy subs. Once they got that done with that equipment in that area, that dude found the Titanic in 4 days. So they kind of knew where the Titanic was before they ever found it. If he found it in 4 days, the only 4 days he had left out of like, a 90-day search or thing with this.
Well, yeah, it's not a big surprise that they would know. I mean, where the Titanic is at was one of the key shipping lanes for World War II, where the convoys would head out of northern U.S. and Canada. They would going across to England. That would be one of the main routes that they would have took. They would have had submarines patrolling that area, and with sonar, they would have been able to detect if there was something down there. That, I mean, the Titanic isn't like it's in the Marianas Trench. It's not out of the realm of possibility that the World War II submarine sonar equipment would have detected something there.
Oh, Moose says he saw the same video, so it must be true.
The whole reason why the Titanic was where it was at when it sank was because that, even back then, that was the main route across the North Atlantic, because it's the calmest part of the North Atlantic at that time of year. The Atlantic Ocean is not as big as the Pacific, but it's much more violent than the Pacific.
I don't know. That Titanic's down there pretty far, buddy. That's
Oh yeah, I'm not
deep.
saying it's not deep down, but it's not as deep down as what it would be if it was in the Pacific. The Pacific Ocean is much deeper than the Atlantic.
Okay. English class. Everybody says that the Titanic is underwater. Wouldn't it be more accurate and proper to say it's in the water? Because wouldn't underwater be like the surface of the earth?
Yeah, if you want to think about it.
So when you jump in a swimming pool, you don't jump under the water. You may jump under the surface of the water,
Yeah,
but
but
you're
I mean,
jumping into the water.
it's the depth that makes it to where they're under the water, because they're under the water on the surface.
Below the surface would be more accurate.
They're on the surface of the earth under the water.
How about bottom of the sea?
Yeah, basically.
Well, that's what I mean. The bottom of the pool, like the concrete base of the pool or the plastic.
People still say they're underwater
under,
when they're on the bottom of the swimming pool.
Well, that's underwater. The grass that your pool is sitting on is underwater. When you go swimming, you're not underwater. You're in the water.
There's all kinds of little incongruities.
So it wouldn't be underwater. It would be
in the water.
Yeah.
You could say under the surface, yes. But if you were going to go scuba diving, you wouldn't be under the water scuba diving. You'd be in the water scuba diving.
It depends on what depth you're at, where you start saying they're underwater when it comes to scuba diving.
I don't see how the depth has anything to do with it.
That's how
if you jump a foot in the air, you're in the sky. If you jump 1,000 feet in the air, you're still in the sky.
Yeah, water, for some reason, water and submerging works differently.
I don't think
you're still under the clouds. We're all trapped below the clouds.
Abby says there's still water over you, though.
Yeah, but there's water all around you.
Not if you're on the bottom.
No, the only place that the water wouldn't be all around you is at the bottom of your feet.
Underneath you.
And then your feet would be on the surface of the ground. So technically, the very bottom of your feet might
You're
be
on the surface
water.
under the water.
No.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Nope.
And like Moose says, we're all
Underwater
under the
would be
sky
at a
right now.
point under the water,
Right.
below the water, something that's therefore not water,
Correct.
like the center of the earth. Like,
If you have a glass and you hold the glass in the air and put your hand under the glass, your hand is underwater. If you put your hand in the glass, your hand is in water. No, hot dog's not a sandwich.
If it's on a bun, yes, it is. Hot dog, just the sausage part of the hot dog in and of itself, no. But once it's on a bun, it is a sandwich.
a hot dog is not sausage.
Yes, it is. A hot dog's a type of sausage.
What if it's beef?
It's a bologna roll.
Yeah.
No, the hot dogs originally were a type of sausage.
That's
A
called
hot dog
bratwurst.
is a sausage. No, it's a frankfurter.
Well, what about all beef hot dogs?
Well, why's the bun like a sub bun? Submarine sandwich bun.
Because it's one piece of bread that's cut into almost half.
Why don't they make a sub, like, to go to the Titanic that looks like the Wienermobile? That would look stronger than that thing they tried to use.
Yeah,
They
but
should
it
use the
wouldn't be very good
Wienermobile.
in water.
They can make an Amphicar Wienermobile.
Yeah.
But you know about the laws of aerodynamics and stuff? It works in water that way too, only worse.
Fluid
water
dynamics.
Fluid dynamics. Water has more mass and solidity than air does, so it's even harder. So a
Well-
submarine shaped like the Wienermobile wouldn't be very efficient.
Sure it would. It's submarine shaped. It's long
But it's
and
also
round.
boxy and has wheels. It wouldn't work very well.
Let's just dump a Wienermobile in the lake and find out what happens.
It'll sink to the bottom really quickly.
No, we'll have to find out.
We'll see if it ends up underwater.
It'll end up underwater, all right. Moose says his buddy has an Amphicar. So
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
those were a weird idea.
They did work, though.
Mm-hmm. Didn't sell very many of them. I always wanted to load a submarine myself. Yeah,
The
from
James
Bond
Bond
movies.
Lotus.
Uh-huh.
All I want is some blackout coffee.
You know, you're a simple man, Kingpin.
Did your boy CM Punk win his match last night, Jason? Did you watch the whole thing?
Good, yes,
Yeah,
you did.
I watched it. I conked out when I logged off last night. I didn't watch it. The only thing I'd cut it off while we were still in the chat. Once the Bullet Boys and that FTR, once their match was over, I clicked it off.
Yeah, that was a good tag team match. I watched that earlier today. But, yeah, Punk won and then Joe choked him out afterwards.
Oh, that's good.
We're coming up on 11 o'clock. We've been going for almost 2.5 hours. So I guess we can start wrapping it up for the night. Before we go, if you like what you've seen and want to support the channel, we got the Patreon link down below in the description. If you don't want to do that, we also have the Blackout Coffee link. So if you want to support the channel, go over to Blackout Coffee, use coupon code RichW20 for 20% off of your order, and you'll be helping the channel out because get 15% commission off, and you'll be helping we get a 15% commission from that, and Mr. Gizzard Gary, you'll be helping as well because he gets a 5% cut as well. So you'll be helping both of our channels out. So 2 for 1. Whereas Patreon, you'd only be helping me out with the Blackout Coffee order. You'd be helping me and Gary. So,
In reality, you're just helping yourself to a fine, fine product.
mm-hmm. And that not only do they have coffees, they have tumblers and stuff. So yeah, go get yourself a nice mug or 20-ounce tumbler with the Gadsden flag on it, or any number of other designs. So yeah. Anyway, check it out. The link there. Jason, you're up first. Got anything you want to plug or anything before we get out of here?
No, man. Just good to hang out, man. Hope everybody has a good week.
Gary, what about you?
Gary's not at the station. He's got a refill on his Blackout Coffee.
Did he say so in the private chat?
Yep.
Okay. All right. I had the YouTube chat pulled up, so I didn't see that. All right. What about you, Kingpin?
Blackout Coffee. Thanks for joining us. Everybody watch everybody else's Blackout Coffee. And then make sure that you Blackout Coffee.
Yeah, make sure you watch Kingpin's ABC's 2A going on this month for July on his channel, since he won't promote himself.
Second Amendment Appreciation Month, Blackout Coffee Company.
I saw you pinned my comment about Hugo Schmeiser.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
A lot of that was true. Some of it may have been, just poking fun.
Yeah, who cares? I don't care.
Yep. And when I made the comment on the Lakeview one, I forgot I was on the Unloaded Media account and not on my personal account. So that's why I did the 2 comments.
M. Gabriel left a comment on my the L's that I dropped today, the special edition one, and he said, "What's up with Lakeview today?" And YouTube deleted that. Literally, all he said was, "What's up with Lakeview today?" Because I guess he hadn't heard that Lakeview's going through some stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and YouTube deleted it. Gary's back.
Okay. Well, Gary, got anything you want to plug? So Gary, get out of here.
Oh, stop by my Foul Territory Friday night, 9 p.m. Central. Make sure and buy some of that wonderful Blackout coffee using the link below. And thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Chris said, "Great chat, guys." So, we try.
Yeah. Have a good night, Chris.
Yep. So with that said, we'll bid you all adieu for this weekend, and we will catch you all later in the week. Hopefully on Gary's show on Friday for sure, if I don't fall asleep and wake up at the very end of the show this time, which is what happened on Friday, which is why I wasn't there, which I already told Gary all that, so he's not being caught off guard by this.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, shit happens, right?
Yep.
Anyway, have a good night, everybody, and we'll catch y'all later.